Almost 6 years to the day he departed from here, hoping for eventual Stanley Cup glory in Toronto, Dion Phaneuf took off from the same airport, traded once again in a multiplayer deal with himself and the Maple Leafs still groping for success. Which side is better off will be intensely scrutinized in the coming months and years after Tuesday's move, shocking on several fronts for the 9 players involved, the swapping teams being Canadian provincial rivals, and for a sitting captain of the Leafs to be the headliner. Phaneuf said some heartfelt hotel lobby goodbyes to teammates, some of whom regarded him as their big brother, and flew off to join the Senators in Detroit, his third Canadian team after starting with the Flames. Included in the package with him were 3 Marlies forwards, Matt Fradin, Ryan Rupert and Casey Bailey, as well as QMJHL defenseman Cody Donaghy. Toronto, with its eye looking further to the future, gets prospect winger Tobias Lindberg, a former Oshawa junior pupil of assistant coach DJ Smith. Lindberg is getting good marks in the AHL, and the Leafs will also receive Ottawa's second-round pick in 2017. More immediate help will be 6'5" defenseman Jared Cowan, veteran forward Milan Michalek and winger Colin Greening. Cowan has had injury issues, but none of the newcomers made it in time for Tuesday night's game against the Flames. The Leafs relieved themselves of Phaneuf's massive contract, but have a huge hole on their blow-in. Already devastated by injuries, they'll have a long 31 games schedule to gut out, but with a likely top 5 draft reward at the end. The problem for us, Dion is ready now to win and we're not, said Toronto coach Mike Babcock, who had plenty of input on the deal. Leafs general manager Lou Lamoriello met Senators counterpart Brian Murray in Ottawa a few days ago to get something done well in advance of the NHL's February 29th deadline. It was deadline day last March when Phaneuf's trade to Detroit was scuttled after Toronto asked too high a price in prospects. Phaneuf is expected to be paired with young Cody Ceci on the Sens blow-in. "I don't expect him to come in here and be a savior," said Murray said of Phaneuf. "We expect him to come in here and be the hockey player he is." Club president Brendan Shanahan took a long look at the mess the rudderless Leafs dressing room had become at the end of last season and decided Phil Kessel and not Phaneuf was expendable. Babcock came in and gave Phaneuf a new role in the rebuild, a less is more approach that reduced his ice time, but improved his points production and saw him play with more snark. On a conference call, Lamoriello said he paid no heed to the anti-Phaneuf chatter around town, calling it hearsay. Still, he's glad to have that contract off his books, 5 remaining years with a cap hit of $7 million US each season. "Certainly not knowing where the cap will go," said Lamoriello, "this gives us the opportunity to do things, but also gives us the opportunity that when some of our younger players are coming at the end of their entry-level contracts, players we have high expectations for, to be able to sign them. This was a transaction that certainly wasn't for today. Dion is going to leave a hole in our lineup, there is no question. But transactions like this have to be made, for the reasons of staying with the plan that's in place." Michalek, 31, won't likely be in Leafs plans beyond this season. The 6'5" Cowan was picked 9th by Ottawa in 2009, 2 selections after Toronto picked Nazem Kadri. But a lower body injury and some issues with coach Dave Cameron have landed him in the press box of late. Cowan is a player who had it going in the right direction, who got hurt and hasn't got it back, Babcock said. "We feel we have a really good medical science group who will take a look at him and do what they can to help him get his game back." Lamoriello and Babcock have decided to leave the captaincy vacant for the rest of the year, going with 3 alternates. As news of the Phaneuf trade spread through the Leafs hotel, Kadri, new co-alternate Roman Pollock, and a few others met him at the door. "I think he was a little upset, a little shocked," Kadri said. "I don't think he necessarily wanted to go. He loved the guys in the room, he loved Toronto, the city and everything about it. But I think it's a good opportunity for him. Ottawa has a shot to make the playoffs this year, and he'll be a big part of that." Ottawa is not only getting a good player, it's getting a better person. One of the first things I did was look up the first time we play them, March 5th at the ACC. He'll be looking forward to that.